Like this over here. These steps. Shh. Because he saw these birds coming.
No, so I trekked all the way through there. As you can see, I left the car back there because yeah, I don't trust these roads. After being stuck in the sand in a rental car on my birthday, I'm in no hurry to do that again. A bird set me off here, and it was again a shrike. The shrike's coming out of my ears. I must have seen 100 now. Red-backed shrike. But yeah, so we're going to go back the same way we came because it's shorter. Those roads, I don't want to do those roads for, even though they're okay, they're kind of drivable. We do want to go for dinner. I think this needs to be a sort of a 4x4 job to do this place properly. I'm not going to risk driving all the way to the south side of the reservoir to find out there's still no viewing platform or viewable birds. So we've seen what we've, we'll go back now and we'll just look through the camera and see what we can identify. So we pulled up the car at the best vantage point I could at the reservoir, and with horrendous heat haze. I did a bit of video so you could see there are actually a lot of birds there, a lot of coots. We had a grey heron. Now a lot of these I had to sort of look and squint and sort of recognise some patterns. I think there's a pintail there, green shank, what else? Mallards. The mallards were huge. A couple I'm unsure. I reckon it was a great crested grebe and possible red shank or sandpiper. Not sure what kind of sandpiper, but that's the sort of thing I would need to park and then hike down one day if I've got, or another trip. But that's going to be a decent number of birds I get. But I'm just on the beach now at the Aksandu at Fandu golf course. Just to see the last of the sun. The sun's gone behind the mountains. You really need to be on the north side of the island to get the best full-on sunset. But look at this, that water is absolutely crystal. I'd love to be in there right now. Yeah, I still haven't got my cigar photo. Wow. But when it pulled onto the beach, there were some crested larks. So I fired off a couple of shots, tried to get some video, but they were gone. But yeah, I haven't got many decent photos of crested larks, and they look good in the sunset. Anything else? Yeah, just I saw a lot of chaffinch coming down on the road, which I'm wondering, is it like bugs that have been driven over, like beetles, and they just see an easy meal that's been squashed up, ready for them to eat up quickly. But I did that thing where I angled the car. There's nobody else about. I angle the car. I'm pointing out the window, so I'm keeping enough of a distance to a chaffinch on the road, and then I hear a beep just as I'm about to take a photo, and it's a motorcycle. So the motorcycle, sorry, I'm just taking bird pictures. He's nice. He asks him, are we okay? And he takes off, and he's only going along at like 25, 30 miles an hour. So basically what's happening is he's then scaring off anything that would be possibly in the road or in the tree in front of us, and just, one bite. This is the frustration of being a bird watcher. You've either got dog walkers or members of the public just walking past you when you're obviously standing there doing something and scaring the things off. There's a lot of biting of your tongue in this hobby. So I finally stopped into Rodini Park because on the eBird I saw somebody said collared flycatcher, so I'm taking my chance. Yeah, you want to see this? Got a little procession of Muscovy duck. Somebody just walked through here with a dog, because that was my first thought, was dogs must chase these guys. Well, maybe they've done it and they've been told off. They do care for animals over here. They feed the cats and give them water. But yeah, no collared flycatcher yet. There's lots of little birds. I've seen a wood warbler, not great enough of a shot to warrant keeping. But I heard my first blackcap, didn't see it, so blackcap goes on the list. And some jays, finally some filmable jays, even though I had to ramp up the ISO. And took some photos and some footage finally. They've always been really jumpy. I couldn't get anywhere near them on the outside. But parks are always good for that sort of more tamer creature. And then saw some small birds flitting around over here by the muscovies, just a little bit ahead of the muscovies. And all that mucking around on the mountains yesterday. I only had to come here to get them. There's a little stream pools here where they come, they come and have a bath and a drink there. Shh.
Because he saw his dog.
So I got a little footage of that. So yeah, parks provide a different, just escape from the heat if you do want to come out in the midday like this. Anything there? Yeah, they are. I mean, they are there. I can see them flitting around. Yeah, because when we first saw the muscovies down at that marina, somebody had just thrown out a load of grain and they just waddle up and pick at that. So they do feed their animals here. There.
Oh, what about this over here then? These steps. Is this a bridge? No, not really. I'd love to know what this is all about. It's not, what would they, who would use that ladder?
This could have been there for years and years.
But why?
Yeah.
For what purpose?
For kids to climb, because that's a nice, probably to hang off and drop in.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Kids.
I'd have done that. Oh. So I'm not even going to try and pronounce, well, I can't because it doesn't give any translation of what this area is called. But it's a dirt path along the seafront. And while my wife was playing some rock music, that's her thing, I took advantage to look for birds. Nothing new today, but we went all the way to the end of this, nothing going on, turned around, come back, and like, oh, there's a buzzard on a post. Now normally by the time I lift my camera up and point, it's gone. And there was some reeds sort of like flicking in front of it, and it's that thing of like, just get the shot because it'll be gone, you miss it completely. I took a shot, a couple of shots, blurry, and then it ducked down to fly. I caught that shot, out of the way of the reeds, checked it, eyes pin sharp, so thank you. Couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it was just standing staring at me. I got it like practically filling the frame. And then as we were coming back, I saw a bird on a post, as you do, you get good at it. One little metal post, checked it, it was a crested lark, and we've seen so many, I say, oh, another crested lark. Then, so I did that thing where I got closer still, and then I set the camera ready for it to take off. It never took off. We got closer, to literally to the point. We were right next to it, and my camera couldn't focus anymore. So I just took as many frame-filling photos as I could, and filmed right up close to it, like just literally just ahead the top area. Fantastic with the sort of crest all over the top. We're staying on the north side of the island because we just want to, the last few nights we've missed the sunset on the south. So we're just kind of like flanneling, mucking around up here, just enjoying the sea. We did try to find a little private beach, but it's all a bit muddy, a bit rocky. There's nowhere really, you gotta really go to the south for that sort of thing. So we didn't get our swim today, and I didn't get my cigar. So yeah, I mean, there's an adult redback shrike the other day. I might pop and see that quickly, but I think we're gonna hang around this area. But this looks like it was all old. I don't know if it's all just gone bankrupt, but it's all old. Looks like vegetable and fruit growing, and it's all been blown away. Apparently, there's an agriculture area over there. So yeah, a bit of a strange. I don't know what. I don't think the area has a name. But nice little couple of bits there with the crested lark and the buzzard. Just pulled in to watch the sunset for the second to last night. This little outflow north of the Kromasti Bridge on the eastern side of the airport, and added, strangely, haven't seen a moorhen yet. Moorhens in there and juveniles. There's some fish jumping around in there. Something sort of size of a little grebe or even smaller took off. I didn't see what it was. And then we had a little egret fly in, so that gets added to the list. It was quite comfortable with me. It hid around the corner at first, got some photos, and then it flew off to the left and just right in front of me. I filmed even in this wind. Brought my tripod for a bit of stability. I'm getting hoarse shouting in this wind. But yeah, I was just trying to wait it out, see if any of these crakes show up and I get a lifer. Not tonight. Just all moorhens. Yep, gonna go spend the last 10 minutes in the car. Back at Rodini Park for a morning walk. See if anything new. Missed the Kingfisher. I saw the Kingfisher. By the time I fumbled around with my settings, deciding whether to go video or photo, it had gone. It was here. It flew across there to that barrier. Anyway, this is a park that isn't cared for, with so much potential. Everything's already built. Walkways, water, just needs cleaned up and presented with more vigour. Lovely. Just got some wood warblers. They seem to be quite easy to get here. So a thing that was a lifer not that long ago is presenting itself a lot more. I've seen on eBird mentions of a wryneck and collared flycatcher. Ever hopeful. So we're just going to come here for an hour and a half before breakfast and hope we get a surprise. Guy's got a British flag on, coughing and spluttering, ruining my video. Anyway, fingers crossed we have a bit of luck. I just got the Kingfisher. Just coming down from the south-west corner, just down those steps there, and just happened to look, and it's very dark down there. Little blue, and it was the Kingfisher, little blue thing, dark, horrible lighting, not my best work, but I got pretty close for filming. I fired off a few shots and it sat there while filming it. And I used, which tree was it? I think I used that tree there to sort of like poke around the side of. And then I pulled out my little emergency tripod to film. I filmed handheld and it was a bit shaky. So I looked around and he was still there. So I undone it, the legs, and opened it up and filmed a bit more. Very high ISO. Still fighting with my image stabilizer, but decent enough footage. Eventually he did, he dropped down, but I didn't see if he went through the tunnel or carried on back up that way to the river where I saw it initially. So maybe it is slightly used to people, more used to people than other kingfishers, because it would have definitely have seen me, for sure. Their eyesight, you can have a crack in the leaves and they will see you a mile away. So anyway, happy finally, after seeing about maybe 5 or 6 kingfishers around the island, I got some semi-usable photos and video. Okay, we're just about to go into the Seven Springs Tunnel. We weren't going to do it, but as we're looking and everyone else is doing it, we're going to go for it. So let's go. Okay. I'm only going to film to the entrance, and then I've got to use the torch. Okay. So lucky I've got a towel in my bag. Okay. Oop. And I'm going to hold on, okay? Okay. I didn't know you could film with the light, so here we are, we're going through the tunnel.
What?
Hey honey, oh, you know, I'm filming.
I'm scared. You know, you've got control of the light.
Out, we've got a ladder out if you want.
I'm kind of...
Well, it's not a ladder out, but it's a turning point.
The trick is not to stop. I'm pushing you to go faster.
Coming to the end, coming to the end. That was easy. Let's do it again. What was the fuss about?
Oh my gosh.
This is nice.
That's slippery there.
Awesome. Success. No fear. Now I need to do a catch up. We're just at the south side of Lindos again to see if there are any raptors. Nothing there. I think it's the time of day. We're a bit early today. But I'll tell you what, it's cloudy and I nearly said I've never seen so many redback shrikes. What I mean is in one day they are everywhere. I mean, you can't go sort of like 30 seconds without seeing one. Every fence post, every fence, every bush has got one hanging around. All juveniles, annoyingly, no adults. I want that adult. I want a really good shot of an adult. I even got one on one of those diagonal wires where it just let me film right up close, and I got, you know, frame filling footage. Wonderful, wonderful. Blue rock thrushes, I definitely, next time, if I'd have had it over again, I'd have come to stay on Lindos, simply because I could just come driving every, you know, couple of times a day and just have a little gander around, and there would be stuff jumping about. Plenty of crested larks, blue rock thrush. But yeah, no raptors. What happened was today when we did leave, there was a buzzard hovering, literally not even flapping its wings, pretty much just hovering in the wind. And use the car as a stabilizer. I managed to sort of get, oh, I'm being told there's something. Oh, blimey, my wife and her eyes. There's something up there. Good spot, honey. And it's gone over. Let's hope it comes back over. My wife has the eyes of an eagle to see eagles. Anyway, so yeah, so that buzzard hovering. We filmed that for a couple of minutes, pulled over. Probably everyone was wondering what we were doing. What was that other thing? Yeah, and when we passed the golf, I had a look on the golf course, very quiet. Every day is different. There's no 2 days are the same. We almost never see the same bird in the same place. But went to the beach and a bird flew. I thought it was a wheatear. Went over to the beach side and landed on one of the stumps, and it was a winchat. And that allowed me relatively close to get video and footage of that. before we carried on. Did we see anything? The ravens again hanging around the castle at Lindos, but we're going to drive along this road again. Yeah, so it's this road here. You can hear the Sardinian warbler. But yeah, this road must be 30, 40 redback shrikes, all juveniles, like I said. I'll show you the picture of the goat I took at the top of the mountain. The lighting's horrible. It's a whiteout sky. So I tried to crop it so the goat was in the top right-hand corner. Oh, right, okay, I've got to be ready because I keep seeing that raptor flitting back and forth. If there's anything important, we'll get back to you. Good morning. So I'm just doing a final clear up of odds and ends before we go because I didn't get time to. Yesterday the eagle at the end of the day was the Benelli's. I recognise it's the same one with one of the wing feathers missing. So I thought it might be honey buzzard to finish me off, but no, not this time. When we came out of the Seven Springs tunnel, there was a splash in the water, another kingfisher. So that's 2 kingfishers we've had on the coast, and almost every bit of fresh water on the inland, whether it be a little puddle somewhere or a proper river running through the park, we've had kingfishers. So if there was a bit of glare there. So yeah, this is a good island for common kingfishers. Then the lark I saw that I thought was a crested lark, and I thought that's very strange for it to be very comfortably sitting on a post, letting us pull up right next to it. I thought there's odd behaviour, and after looking at the long nails on the back, I thought, you know, those long nails mucking around on the sand as it does is going to get in the way. I just thought to look it up, and it does look a bit darker than I just thought maybe it was the lighting. But I'd used a Google lens with a really clear picture of it, and it said Theclas. So maybe it was, but we had the music blaring and it was windy, so we couldn't hear it singing. So I'm pretty sure if anyone wants to correct me, Theclas lark. Yeah, so that's a nice little, you know, just adds to the list. I mean, I got them in Menorca, so it's not a lifer. And the final little clear up, the jays, the Eurasian jays, if they are Eurasian jays, that I've seen in the park. I'm not actually sure if it's the same. They could have just ordinary Eurasian jays that I saw flying around here, but the ones we saw in the park, they looked a bit odd. Their faces looked a bit white, and I didn't see it at first, but they have like a black cap. And doing a bit of looking online, it seems the subspecies is black-capped jay. So that's, for me, it counts as a lifer. Yeah, so yeah, that's everything covered now. About to have a quick bit of breakfast and jump on the plane. I think I've covered everything. I'll probably see a photo or a bit of video. I went, I haven't done a vlog about that, so if there are, I'll write something at the bottom of the screen, like I did at the very first video with the hobby. I never mentioned the hobby. Not seen one since. Saw one on the first day. Anyway, yeah, I'd love to come back in the spring and see how much this place explodes with life when we've got some water. Okay, see you back in the UK.